I'm Thor Moody with Delorier. This is my assistant Jason, and we're going to go through how to make a concrete test specimen. If you want to look this up, it's ASTM C31. That's how to make a cylindrical concrete test specimen. We're going to make two sizes. This is a 6x12, this is a 4x8. The size that you use is dictated by one of two things, either the job specification, which tells you which size to use, or the nominal maximum aggregate size that's in the concrete mix. The diameter of the mold has to be at least 3 times the nominal maximum aggregate size. So if you're using 1-inch stone, which is the most common stone that's used in concrete in this country nowadays, you can use a 4x8. If it's 1.5 inch stone or larger, then you have to use a 6x12. Okay, in this case, we're going to make one of each. Now, when you fill the 6x12, it is filled in 3 layers, each one rodded 25 times with the large 5/8 inch tamping rod. When you make the 4x8, it's filled in 2 layers, tamped with the small 3/8 inch tamping rod. So I'm going to be the scooper and Jason is going to be the maker. And when you rod this concrete, you start at the outside and you do 25 rods without striking the bottom of the mold and spiraling in toward the middle. So we're going to fill this 1/3 full. And then on the 4x8, we're going to fill it half full. And Jason can get started rodding. We both got 25. Now the small rod. Jason's doing this for the first time, so this is kind of like somebody you might have doing it for the first time and how simple this can be. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take this rubber mallet and we're gently going to tap around the outside of this mold to remove any voids that we've created in the rodding process. You don't have to strike it hard, just enough to close up these voids. You could also do this with an open hand, which Jason will demonstrate on the 4x8. And you just tap it, and you can see if those voids are closing up. You can look down in there as you're doing it. Now what we'll do is we'll go ahead and put another 1/3 in the larger 6x12 molds. And then we will top off the 4x8 mold. You want this to be mounded over the top a little bit, and then keep some concrete handy so that if that subsides, you can stop rodding, add a little bit more concrete, and then resume rodding or consolidating. So now we'll do the 6x12, again with the larger rod, 1 inch into the underlying layer. And when you're done, Jason, just go ahead and knock those voids out before you move on. That way you don't forget to do it. And that's all it takes for those of you watching. You don't have to go medieval on these things. All right, and we'll strike or knock the voids out of that one. And you can see that concrete's moving a little bit when he does that. That's from those voids coming out as he does this. Now we're going to top off. I'll grab this. We'll top off the 6x12. We'll finish both of these at the same time. And once again, we want to mound this concrete a little bit above the surface of the rim so that it has some room to subside, and we'll keep some extra concrete handy if needed. Okay, Jason. And we're doing 25 times, starting on the outside, spiraling our way toward the middle, hopefully slightly penetrating the underlying layer by about an inch. We'll tap those voids out. That looks good. Now we're going to use a strike-off bar, and this is something that we make and sell. It's a plastic strike-off bar. It's great for finishing the top of cylinders. You can also use the tamping rod to finish, but the better you finish the end of this cylinder, the easier it's going to be when you go to do a compression test on it. So I'm going to step in here and show you this method. We're going to start in the middle, okay, and we're going to work our way to this side. Then we're going to start in the middle and work our way to this side with a sawing motion. And now we'll go this way with a sawing motion. And now this way with a sawing motion. And then we'll just strike this off smooth. Take our hand and go around this rim just to remove that excess concrete. That's a pretty good finish there. We'll do the same on the 4x8. We'll start in the middle, go to the outside, this middle to the outside, then we'll go 180 in this direction, and this direction. And if we pop a rock out or something, we can do this and close that up, finish this a little bit. This is not a problem when you go to finish this. If we get a little low here, we can add a little concrete, like so, work that in, okay, and refinish it. Now, once you've made these, that looks pretty good. Once you've made these cylinders have to be moved to where they're going to stay on the job site for the next 24 hours. We make field curing boxes for that purpose, but within 15 minutes, while they're still fresh, they have to be moved. Now that we've made these, we're going to go ahead and put lids on them. They're close-fitting lids that will preserve the moisture in the samples. These happen to be dome lids. The way to put this on, don't press in the middle or you'll mess up your concrete. So you start on one edge, you lay it on it, and then you go around the edge. And you should hear it snap on. Okay? And that's going to give you good moisture retention. The same with the 4x8. We're going to go around this a little bit so that the lid goes on cleanly. We'll start here. We'll get one edge started and then go around the edge. And that's our master class on how to make a test cylinder.